This is a video on scientific notation. This is a notation that is very useful in chemistry and all math and sciences because it's a way to express very big and very small numbers in a condensed way. The basic setup of scientific notation is in this format. So your m is called your base number, and then your n is your exponent. An example of scientific notation would be 2.5 times 10 to the second power. Now, what this number is in expanded form, because your exponent is positive, that is telling you how many times to move the decimal place to the right. So this number expanded and gotten out of scientific notation would be 250. And all I did there was move the decimal point 2 places to the right. Another example would be 2.5 times 10 to the negative second power. That negative exponent tells you to move the decimal point to the left. So if we are going to get this out of scientific notation, 2 places to the left would be 0.025. Sometimes people will put a 0 there for the 0 point, and sometimes they won't. It does not matter. If we already have an expanded number and we want it into scientific notation, for example, 4,750, you put your pencil on the decimal point. Right now, the decimal point would be after the 0, and you want to move the decimal point so it's between a number 1 and 10. You only want one digit to the left of the decimal point. So in this case, I would move it 1, 2, 3 spots to the left. So this number in scientific notation would be 4.750. You always want the times 10. And because we went from a very big number to a smaller base number, the exponent is positive. Another example in reverse, if we're starting with a very small number, relatively speaking, and we want to put that in scientific notation, same idea. You put your pencil on the decimal point and you move it so there's only one number to the left of the decimal point. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be 4.75 times 10. And since we went from a very small number to a bigger base number, it is a negative exponent. And it's a 4 because that's how many times we moved it. For your calculator, you should be very comfortable using your calculator with scientific notation. The button you are looking for here is the double E button. So on a TI-84 Plus calculator, that you would have to use the second key and then the comma key. So to type this into the calculator, let's do 8.5 times 10 to the 6th times 9.72 times 10 to the 4th. So these are obviously two big numbers. So to do this in your head or through pencil and paper would be very difficult. So in your calculator, you want to type in 8.5, and then you want that double E key. So you would hit the second button and the comma if you're using a TI-84 Plus. That would bring up an E button. That E button means times 10. So now we covered this right here. Now we're just typing in the number that is the exponent. So we would just hit a 6. We do not need a caret key for an exponent. The E takes care of all of that. So we should have 8.5 E6 multiplication, and do the same thing for the next number. You would just type in 9.72. Again, you want that E button with a 4, and your calculator would give you a longer number, but with significant figures, which we will talk about. The answer would be 8.3 times 10 to the 11th. Now in your calculator, it might say 8.3 E11, and that means the same thing.